Welcome to Black 7 Tech news of the previous week. There's a lot to talk about, so let's jump right in. I'm getting these news from videocards.com. The first news is that Intel's new driver is giving a 750% performance increase in Halo the Master Chief Collection. The game is most likely in a broken state. It's definitely playable now. And if we scroll down, we can see that there's 16 other games that also got improved, and the biggest ones are Yakuza, for example. We also have World War Z with 113%. Yakuza has 154%, and you can see the rest over here. And the settings that they were improved are written here on the side. Their drivers got 78% better on average if we include Halo. If we don't include Halo, they got a 36% increase on average. In other news, apparently the AMD sponsored game Starfield will get DLSS 3 and frame generation first, then FSR 3. That is very weird. Anyway, we have here a tweet, an X from Bethesda themselves saying, Note, DLSS is for PC NVIDIA users only. We'll also have AMD FSR support in the future update. According to them, it's okay to implement DLSS 3 first and FSR 3 later. Talking about FSR, one of the best games released this year, Baldur's Gate 3, had FSR 1.0 and it just got an update to FSR 2.2. That's what it says here on video cards. They got their source from PC Gamer and Overclock 3D. In my opinion, this will make the game run better and definitely look a lot better. And in other news, Asus launched a 4060 Ti with an SSD slot at the back. It's official. They launched it. It has been revealed not long ago, but nobody was sure, and at least I have not seen a cover for the SSD. There was concerns about thermal throttling on the M.2, but apparently, as you can see on this image, it does come with a backplate for the SSD for cooling. As you can see on here on some images, the 4060 Ti Dual from Asus. You cannot use the M.2 for to add more VRAM as it only comes with 8 gigabytes. But because of the GPU only using 8 lanes and the other 8 are still there but not connected to anything, Asus have decided to utilize these missing lanes to have more storage. This is very good for very small, compact build, which you can add more storage without having to take the graphics card and everything out, especially when it's all crammed in there and it's very hard to get into the motherboard to add more M.2s, or if you just don't have any more space to add any more M.2s on the motherboard. It's always good to have more options, and I like this. Even more news, more graphics cards, but this time from Colorful, not from Asus. Colorful is unveiling its special edition 4060 Ti called Fog Hill of 5 Elements Special Edition. As you can see here, it's a nice and interesting looking graphics card. I like this design. In fact, I like all different designs, everything that is different. This is the 16 gigabyte model, not the 8 gigabyte, as we just saw from Asus. It comes with some things. NVIDIA released the GeForce 546.08 hotfix driver addressing Alan Wake 2 and Windows 10 bugs. And I've got great news for whoever still has a Polaris or Vega graphics cards. AMD just released after 2 months a new driver for Polaris and Vega. It looks like that it's not dead or forgotten yet, as VideoCard states here. Asus ROG Ally Z1 Extreme got a price drop from $699.99 to $619. That's a $80 price reduce. Apparently that's happening on Best Buy, as you can clearly see on this image, $619.99. The Asus ROG Ally also got a €100 price cut in Europe, as you can see over here. Costing now €699 for the Z1 Extreme and $599 for the normal Z1 version. Here are some examples of the official websites on Finland and France and other retailers. In rumored leaks, Copite 7 Kimi have leaked the power consumption of the new graphics cards, the Super series. So the RTX 4070 Super is rumored to have 220 watts, the 4070 Ti Super 285 watts, and 4080 Super 320 watts. That is the leak from Copite 7 Kimi on Twitter. And in other non-rumored leaks, Galaxy launched a new graphics card. It's the Galaxy RTX 4090 20th anniversary edition, and it's the first desktop GPU to feature HDMI retimer. Here you can see it's, in my opinion, a very nice looking graphics card with a power at the back, as you can see in these images. That's very nice. I really enjoy white. The PCB is full white. The rest of the graphics card is also white. They lost an opportunity to, in my opinion, to paint the radiator in white as well, but nonetheless, it's still a very good looking graphics card. In other news, AMD announced a new partnership with the Polish game developer and publisher 11-bit. This is very good in my opinion because we are getting FSR implemented into more games and also getting better optimized. I hope these types of partnerships, as long as they're not exclusive to AMD alone, I hope they continue to happen. In other news, AirRing launches a new mini ITX motherboard with 14 cores. That's an i9-13900H CPU pre-installed. As you can see in these images, it is pre-installed. You cannot change for any other CPU should you want to, and also has support for a DDR5 5600 megahertz. It's definitely interesting, but I do not like the idea of being locked into the CPU. And also, if something happens to it, you cannot change it. You can always just buy a different CPU or even do an upgrade, even though you're on the i9 13900H. I don't think you can go higher than that, but still, it would be nice. But changing now to PlayStation 5 news, the PlayStation 5 Slim has been teared down by Dave2D on YouTube and by Linus on Linus Tech Tips YouTube channel. Um, but I suggest you guys watch Dave2D or Linus Tech Tips video if you want to know more about it. In fun and interesting news, the Steam Deck got a 61 terabyte storage upgrade. It's, in fairness, it is an external enterprise SSD. This was done by the folks at Storage Review. They thought it would be fun to play with the U2 to M.2 adapter and use this big time enterprise SSD with a lot of capacity, which is indeed what they did. As you can see here on images, they made a very monstrous looking Steam Deck, very respective in terms of speed. And as you can see, yeah, the storage is there. They got 55.7 terabytes of storage. That is very nice and interesting. I love these weird experiments. This is one of the good things of having open platforms. And later this week, Copite 7 Kimi strikes once again. Zach on Twitter asked any time frame to when they might come out, and Copite 7 Kimi saying CES. RTX 40 Super Series are rumored to be debuted at CES 2024. We'll see if this ends up to be true or not. And for the last bit of tech news today, ASRock looks to be the first company to release an AGESA 1.1.0.0 for its X670 motherboards, which improved Ryzen 700G Phoenix support. The company is releasing a new firmware which will support the upcoming desktop APUs, specifically these two that we can see here, the Ryzen 5 7500G and the Ryzen 3 7300G. Hopefully, it will support as well, and if it even comes, 7700G, it is definitely a more powerful APU. And yeah, that is all the tech news I got for you this week. I hope you enjoyed, found this interesting. And yeah, like, subscribe, see you in the next one.